Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with the host from Pearl Dane. The one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland of it, 1v1 road to Tunis. In the west it is Salmon fighting here for the Wehrmacht Germany, Deutschland, the 21st Panzer Division, 5th Panzer Grenadier Company, with Breakthrough, which is the de facto battle group at the moment for the Wehrmacht, because the MP40 Grenadiers are probably your best bet in most cases. In the east it is Stephenn, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, here with the 1st Armoured Division. So, off to the races we are here. We got Grenadiers there for Salmon. No, by the way, no additional Pioneers, no cartridges, and just lots of Grenadiers, it would appear, being planned right away here. Meanwhile, Stephen in the mix of riflemen and scouts. As always, a big hearty thank to my Patreon supporters for their continuous and glorious support of the war effort. So, Rifle Squad here heading northwards, backing up the scouts here, quickly going to grab some of the more important points, for the Rifle Squad just being left to see how they connect the points. Meanwhile, Pioneers connecting southwards here for Salmon and the German army. Also, a veteran company to play here, Salmon, but I was not aware they were playing company street that much, but apparently they are, so here we are. Grenadier ready, sending those northwards, sandbags up at the south, grab the munitions points as well. Obviously with a strategy like, Breakthrough, and you're planning to go for the assault grenadiers, you definitely want those assault packages, so that means a lot of munitions. Stephen, meanwhile, more steady approach. It's also worth noting, Stephen actually went right for the northern points here, and actually ignored the fuel point outside of his base, which is a bit interesting. Maybe it was by accident, or maybe it was actually intentional, it's hard to say, but it's certainly worth noting there. Points being seized here are more Grenadiers. Yeah, it looks like to be one of those MP40 Grenadier strategies. Heavy strategies that should become more popular with some Wehrmacht players. I'm not entirely sure it's going to be becoming the de facto one, but it's certainly catching on with some of the more high-ranked Wehrmacht players. Just go for a lot of Grenadiers, get a bunch of MP40s going, swarm hard. Certainly noticed that a bit with here and there.
Grenadiers assembled.
3rd Grenadier squad here, including, I think, the 8th ranked player at the moment, Ungreifen, is very much hard on that as well. Scouts hit, cash grenadiers up here, so first shot's really fired here. Again, both sides just focusing on securing their own sides of the map here. Scouts with the grenadiers up close here, pushing with the Connaught. In case the scouts with their M1 Garands are just rapidly routing in the face of the grenadiers. In the center, we've got Rifle Squad standing ready, grenadiers slowly pushing up here. More riflemen pushing in there from Stephen, and a 3rd Rifle Squad ready as well here. Pioneers coming in from the south, can start upgrading some with the MP40s. Could also go for 4th Grenadier Squad, that's what he's planning, which again, I would not be surprised at, but perhaps he's planning to take up here. No MP40s as of yet. Guess he's a bit caught up in other matters. We've got Stephen going for the car plant towards the south here. Sharp play there by Stephen. But previously, front a lot of the German supplies here. And we do in fact get a 4th Grenadier Squad here, skirmishing across all the places. Still no MP40s there for Salmon there. Stephen though does miss a beat, goes in hard for freedom and democracy, just starts hammering away at those goddamn crowds. And Salmon here is definitely struggling a bit here, as one-on-one the Grenadiers will in most situations lose the riflemen. So in this regard, splitting up his Grenadiers so thinly with no MP40s is definitely a winning case here for Stephen. Going for the fuel point there outside the base here, 4th Grenadier Squad ready, MP40s finally happening there. Again, bit of delay there, got the fuel point hit, or cut-off point hit, so suddenly Salmon is getting next to the map here. We also got the Luftwaffe company here. Still fairly popular, but there's been an increase in lately as of players who aren't me that actually go for the Panzer Grenadier company. Yes, I know. People are starting to see that the Stug is actually like, good. So Grenadiers pushing forwards here, but Salmon though, clearly more of a Luftwaffe and Jäger guy. I mean, that's fine too. Not I'm saying that Luftwaffe company is bad, it's just, I feel like there's a slight tendency to just unlook at the Luftwaffe company with some players. All the way, they're reconnecting here, but for now, Stephen keeps up the assault here. German troops there trying to keep the Americans down. Got the first MP40 upgrade ready here. Could actually start handing out more MP40s here soonish. Of course, have to be Stephen pushing in here. Stephen's also got some tech there in his base. Hard to say what it's going to be. Will it be infantry? Will it be... Oh, it's actually the air support center, and a bit of surprise here for Stephen, seeing I think one of the few players who actually goes for the air support center. Stephen generally just likes to go for the various support centers. He's, in that regard, a much more fluid player who likes, experiment and try out things. So he's always, in that regard, very interesting to watch. But Air Support Center is easily the least chosen of the support centers right now amongst the Americans. So definitely going to be interesting to see what Stephenn does for that. Jaeger's following up here, though, for Salmon and the 21st Panzer Division. More MP40 is getting ready here. Rail Squad 5 at the advancing grenadiers here. Closing in there with their MP40 submachine gun, or who knows, maybe some MP38 snuck in there as well. Which is basically just an earlier model of the MP40 that was overall just more expensive to produce and tougher to produce.
Jaeger light infantry on station.
First Jaeger squad out here for Salmon. Stephenn there going for air reconnaissance, I guess, and some paratroops at the same time. We got grenades off in the Ralph squad. Oh, was it a strafing run? Oh, it was a strafing run. Okay. Interesting there. So he's already just leveraging the air support center hard here versus his opponent. Thumbs up to that. Again, very rare to see anyone use it, and then suddenly see him just goes in hard on it. 2 thumbs up. Easily the least popular. But again, I do think there's more to it than most people let on to. But anyways, in the south, Scout's about to get hit by gunners. Note the way here that Sound is moving up behind the Scouts. Again, that way threaten the retreat path with a lot of MP40s. Now the question, of course, is will he be focusing more on more MP40s, or will he be going for Panzerschrecks first? Like, it does depend a bit on what he's worried about here that Stephenn might chuck at him. But there you go, Scouts here, taking a lot of damage to the retreat here by the Grenadiers. Again, the MP40s here, great for that sort of stuff here. Punishing Stephenn, should have retreated much sooner here. But that's too late now. Those Scouts are very much dead. We did it, Otto! We killed the Americans! Yeah, no, there's just half a dozen more over there. Oh yeah. North Grenadiers and Jaegers of the Ralph squad here. K9, TKs and G35 was the M1 Garand and a single Thompson. We got the 221 here, by the way, for Salmon for some more motorized action here versus the Americans. Thumbs up to that. Leichte Panzerspielwagen 221. One of the earliest and first armored cars of the German army, the Act 2 saw service. There was an even earlier version, but I don't think the Act 2 saw service. That was more like an experimental thing they did. But the 221 was, I would say, the first one, sort of based off a more utility vehicle design there within the German army, and then just up-armored. In fact, a lot of the German early vehicles were basically like that. The 250 half-tech similar was just a tractor that was just up-armored. And even the Achtrad was similarly based off, you know, just a heavier like truck design and then turned into like a heavy armored car. So fun facts there. But we got the 221 pushing forwards here for Salmon. That's going to be a bit of a hit to Stephenn at range. There you go, flying with this machine gun there. It's the Americans, but again, Stephenn keeps up the pressure, keeps harassment up here, and messes there with Salmon's economy quite consistently. Very good plays here for Stephenn. 221 pushing in here with this machine gun, ripping into those GIs as they desperately try to get out of there. As for Stephenn, we do have the motor pool up there with an M8 Greyhound on the way there. Thumbs up to that. Interesting enough, Salmon sent in the more depleted Grenadiers rather than more at full strength here. But I think it'd been the other way around. Maybe it was a misclick, or maybe Salmon has some other plan here and we are not privy to. There you go, more Grenadiers moving forwards here. Still just to upgrade with MP40, so clearly planning here the Panzerschreck. In theory, you could of course go for the Panzerbüchse 41, which the Germans consider an anti-tank rifle, most other armies consider an anti-tank gun. Up north, the Grenadiers push back the Ralph squad here. Stephenn quickly forced withdraw. We got the M8 Greyhound Scout car there ready, or armoured car. Ralph squad, they're close being wiped out here. Could pursue with the armoured car, but is clearly concerned probably about snares, or maybe they're just the Greyhound there. But this does prove to be fortuitous here for Stephenn. Or maybe not. We got the Grenadiers pushing in here. They do have a lot of guns there, a lot of firepower, and a lot of gumption. There you go. Stephenn actually dives in with the Greyhound. In this regard, turns out lucky because all the munitions just spent on the Panzerschreck means there's no Panzerfaust for the Greyhound. So, very lucky here for Stephenn. Very lucky. Meanwhile, Salmon to fuse a battle group here. We got the Panzerschreck there on the Greyhound, punching straight through the armor. Unsurprisingly, these things were not heavily armored and certainly not enough to withstand a Panzerschreck. Ralph's got a pursuit again here. Another unit. Gonna be, I think, another close one here for Stephenn, but once more his men will, you know, survive in large enough numbers to reconstitute another squad. rebuild around. We got BARs up as well for Stephenn, quickly lining up for some more heavier firepower there versus the Germans. Thumbs up to that. Greyhound, though, will need some repairs, and here Stephenn does have a slight issue right now. No engineers. Salmon there, and the 21st Panzer Division keeps up the offensive here as the 1st Armoured. We got more BARs up there for Stephenn's Riflemen. Thumbs up to that. Of course, a significant boost in the firepower. Makes them quite nasty. Up north, on his range. We got more Jaegers here for Salmon. He does like his Jaegers. Noting no Luftwaffe's off quarters or support elements, and certainly with all these grenadiers, he could also benefit from the infantry officer quarters to, you know, get them veterans you want, but also get them more experience. Well, more veteran players, I think, are starting to come around to looking at, you know, the officer quarters upgrades as being quite useful. Not all are at the moment. There's still some players who shall say are less immediately onto that. There's the 2nd Jaeger squad out here for Salmon. Gunners bang post down with the rifle squad here. We got more gunners pushing in here. Rifle squads, they're making great use of the train here in the buildings to slow down here any counterattack by Salmon and the Germans in the south here. Rifle squad pushing forwards further south here. Fueling hit with the gunners here. North here, Rifle squad in the building, causing problems for Salmon's Grenadier. Rifle squad pushing forward, spraying the BAR all over the place. The BAR was designed for firing on the move during World War I. It even had like a setting for like different rates of fire. We're not talking like, you know, automatic, semi-automatic. We're talking like high rate of fire, low rate of fire sort of stuff there. Fun fact. Strafing run here from Stephenn this time, though. Whiffs on it. Gets dodged, but it caused the Gunners run to the BAR's rifleman, and this could actually be a wipe here from Stephenn on Salmon. No, he gets away, but the Jaeger suddenly left to their own devices, and, well, quickly forced to withdraw here as well. 2-1 pushing forwards here. Closing in on veterans one there. Certainly another reason to get the officer quarters here would be to get veterans on the armored cars, so you can, you know, get some of the bonuses going. South here, Gunners right up with the rifle squad there. Stephenn keeps up the pressure. His Greyhound finally repaired as Stephenn finally found the time to call in some engineers. North here, Gunners the rifle squad here. Bit of close quarters action in between these two combatants. And back here, nothing further going on there. He's just floating a lot of command points. I'm guessing to a degree he's just going to try and, you know, go for the Tiger tank as soon as possible. But even, you know, that he could still, like, you know, get something going there, I guess. But he's probably going to have to, like, you know, at least push for some armor before going for the Tiger tank. Oh, so I think Stephen's just going to pull ahead of him. We'll see. South here, 2-1 here with Pioneer support going for the rifle squad in the south. Crit rout them. Also now veterans who won here. North here, Gunners pushing forwards. Jaegers as well there. More Panzerschrecks like Ketten Panzerbüchse, which is based off the American bazooka. That's a fun fact. It was just basically an enlarged bazooka, which is why they actually had to have this little shield on the Panzerschreck, because it turns out, like, increasing the dimensions, the rockets wouldn't burn off the fuel properly within the tube. So if they didn't have that shield, the crew would have to, or the gunner would have to, like, wear a gas mask and gloves, or just fumes coming out of the rocket would just, you know, be very, very bad for them. And it turns out you didn't need that, you just added that little shield there. So that's why the Panzerschreck has that little shield there. It's basically to protect the wielder of the Panzerschreck from the Panzerschreck itself, in a sense. Fun fact, charging forwards, we've got double port on them here as the advantage going to use here. Yup, suppressing the assault here. Very powerful ability. Grenade assault here. And just countless casualties. The Schulhand grenade just blows up amongst them, leaving only 2 men alive, and barely so. Jaegers here with the rifle squad here, 2-1 there. Tearing into them, Jaegers going for that Greyhound. Need to be careful, doesn't get focused down here. And we go, good shot from the Panzerschreck right through the sidearm of the Greyhound. In the south here, we got another Greyhound out here. Stephenn commits hard. And we can see this, he has gone for armored since his Greyhound there immediately hits veterans one. And there he goes, getting the Pioneers white immediately. Greyhound there just letting loose here upon
Pioneer infantry killed.
Salmon there. Rifle squad right here, still push up from the north as well, despite all this suppressive firepower. Those Grenadiers really just, well, broke through Stephenn's lines there like a boot through a plywood wall. More Pioneers here for Salmon, as those were his only Pioneers, by the way. And there, got Grand flank up behind. Oh, could get Pantherfausted. But he doesn't have any Panzerschrecks nearby to finish it off here, so that's some luck here. Meanwhile, we do have the Panzer Company up here for the 21st Panzer Division. And Salmon. A Panther IV is certainly going to be a challenge here for Stevenson's Greyhounds are definitely not rated for taking on Panzer IVs. You want us to do what? So Ralph Squad holding up here. Grenadiers being slowly pushed back. His men are overwhelmed by the sheer firepower that Stephen's GIs can wield individually. 2-1 there being fixed up again. Rifle Squad pushing forwards. Greyhounds there being fixed up. No sign of further tech there from Stephenn. And of course the air support center is not something using a lot, but you know, when it comes down to it, you can definitely like launch some nasty things that can really mess with his opponent. So far he's been doing, I think, reasonably well with it. Rifle Squad caught up with the Gunners and the Jaegers, G for the Feast, MP40s, and of course the Carnot TKC, Rifleman pushed back. In the center, ground rolling forwards here. 2-1 strike again here for the Fatherland. Catch Rifle Squad in the center here with its machine and give out.
We have the momentum to end this.
Pioneer pushing forwards, Jaegers falling back a bit. We got here the Map Rapid Production and the Blitzkrieg. That's 4 more command points. Going for the Tiger Tank. Going for a Panther 4 that would be very wise. He could also, in theory, like have gone for the Oberblitz instead, because I don't think Rapid Production actually is currently working, unfortunately. You could use the Oberblitz, then stop at the fuel point, and then secure himself more fuel, for example. Greyhound falling back here. German forces advance in the center here. American forces forced to withdraw here, as the concentration of German infantry is too much. In the south, Grand looking to flank around here. Salmon, southern flank, also got hitting the fuel point there. Thumbs up to Stephenn. He knows what matters. I mean, he's probably to some degree like expecting a Panther 4 push from his opponent. So, of course, ensuring that Salmon gets as little fuel as possible is very wise. Plus, he's also probably highly aware of the possibility of a Tiger Tank down the road. So, either way for Stephenn, just denying his opponent fuel is very sensible. As otherwise, Stephenn could get into a lot of trouble very fast. South England push about the ingenuity of the Minesweeper, and no match for German machine guns, or submachine guns. So there you go, air support center still ready.
Forces have claimed our territory.
Just one, it was the Greyhound. Straight into it. And the Greyhound, there we go. She's going to be able to take out the 2-1. Destroying here Salmon's armored car there, removing it from the equation. Good kill here. Thumbs up to Stephenn. And once we're going for the calf point here. At this point, I do think you should either consider upgrading more of his Gunners with MP40s, or starting like upgrading to Jaegers, or transferring away for Jaegers. I feel like for him having just 2 Grenadier squads that are unupgraded is quite frankly a bit inefficient.
Infanterie company taking damage.
But again, that's just my opinion. He can soon go for the Panther 4. He has the fuel now. It's just a matter of manpower, what the Panther 4 does cost a bit here. But again, hitting the car point here, denying his opponent fuel. He got the fuel point right outside his opponent's base. Stephenn, you cheeky W. Celtic Grenadiers with the Grenadier Assault against Ralph Squad here. Oh! Didn't see that in time. We got the tank depot going up for Stephenn. And there you go. Head on assault with the Jaegers and the Panther 6. Oh, both rockets missed. The Greyhound scoots away there, going meep meep. Or perhaps not as quite as meep meep as another rocket punches straight through the armor, leaving the crew quite disoriented and uncomfortable. Yeah, using the holding up here on the car point. There we go. Panther 4 on the way here for Salmon. Going for Tiger Tank right now would be very inadvisable under current circumstances. He needs more map control, and for that he needs the Panther 4. Graham rolling up, he's straight to the Panther in the Raketen Panzerwüchse. Then he's being shot up with the Ralph Squad. He's clearly not paying attention to that, but there you go. Panther 4 ready here for Salmon. Fixing up the infantry company with his Pioneer Squad. Jaegers continue up the hunt here for the Greyhound. Both now need repairs. Grenade swords research by the way there for Stephenn. Panzer confirming they're advancing. Straight here on the Ralph Squad here on the cutoff point. Needs to dislodge them, and there you go. Stephenn just decides he's got better places for his riflemen to be. Got 320 to 357. Stephenn's got a good lead here over his opponent so far. Not massive, but a lead nonetheless. Ralph Squad pushing forwards in the south. Panther going for the Ralph Squad there. Rifle squad advancing, going some off this rifle squad there, pushing them back. Quite a few engagement all over the place. Rifle squad pursuing the Panther 4 here. Diving in here, backed up with the Jaegers. We've got some Grenadiers merged into the Jaeger squads to help keep reinforcement costs down. Grenade assault up here, push back the rifle squad. Oh, not quite, not quite. Need to retreat both Grenadier squads. Closing in on having the command point for the Tiger tank, but obviously resource-wise, it's going to take a lot longer than that. But finally got his southern resources reconnected once more. There's an improvement for Salmon. As for Stephenn, nothing out of the tank depot. Guessing a Sherman, but he could surprise us with a Hellcat here. I think with the Panther 4, he's going to have to go further. The Bulldozer Sherman, I think, would be a bit silly. And there you go. M18 Hellcat here for Stephenn. Panther moving forwards. Straight for the co-op on there. Good shot on the rifleman. And dispatched. Back here to reinforcing healing. Exiling back here.
Territory sector lost.
Jaeger are fully reinforced.
Greyhounds rolling ahead. In the south, you got the rifle squad grab the points here. M18 Hellcat ready for Stephenn. And of course, immediately Veterans 1, thanks to the armored battle ability. Greyhound rolling forwards. Got to get flanked here with the Greyhound. Drop bounce, that's very lucky there for Salmon's Panzer 4. Less so for the ground as it takes up a turn, hits him both Panther 6 Panther 4 and goes down. But now we got Stephenn pushing ahead here with the Hellcat straight into the Panther 6 and the Panther 4. Almost got Panther fast there, but at least luck is far enough there with Stephenn to ensure his Hellcat doesn't get, well, into very much still cat. Still, Stephenn maintains quick map control versus Salmon despite the round of the Panther 4 here.
Commandant, territory sector lost.
I do think Salmon again needs to, like, figure out what he wants to do with his Grenadiers. He hasn't upgraded. Because I think they're going to be a bit of a resource drain on him if, like, he doesn't get upgraded here or transferred up to some Jaegers. Grenade assault here, but I can quickly dodge them. There you go, put on the suppress them, Grand rushing in. Panther 4 there, pushing forwards for Deutschland. Catching last one, there you go, Grand also getting caught in with the Panther 4 in its main gun. Hasn't chosen the Tiger yet. I mean, I guess it doesn't need to right now, but, it would be handy to have it ready at the time. Could even, like, go for breakthrough or smoke bombing run as well then. There you go, nice grenade ripping through the Grenadiers, leaving quite a few of them dead and the rest close to dying. Yeah, considering the Panther 4 here as it moves ahead once more for Deutschland, the 21st Panzer Division. Hellcat rolling out here. Going to respond to the Germans up north.
Territory lost.
You need us?
So the question is, will he try and go for the Tiger tank now? Will he go for another Panther 4 first here against Stephenn?
A Tiger heavy panzer is ours to deploy.
Okay, Tiger tank selected. It's finally, we've got breakthrough as well here.
Enemy infantry! Scheiße!
There's rifle on the south here. He's in the center. We got 268 742. Stephenn, oh, I think that's air reconnaissance here. Could be wrong, though. But the way it's moving, it has me thinking it's air reconnaissance. Panther with the rifle squad here, going for that southern victory point as well here. Salmon and the German army extending control of the map. He wants to work out Stephenn laying down mines, of course, to slow down any German assaults. Hellcats just hanging back. Here we got the Sherman out for Stephenn now. M4A1. Rifle squad, they push back. Jaegers, Grenadiers, they're all advancing across the map here. Except in the north, as Stephenn's making the advance for now. And we got a third Jaeger squad. bit odd here. Again, I feel like you could just, at this stage, just transfer out some of these gun leads for Jaegers rather than just go for more Jaegers.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
That's just me. I'll wait Stephenn bringing his tank destroyers here and his Sherman. Sherman's right squad there, pushing him back. Crashing through there. The Hellcat was a very fast tank destroyer, but also very lightly armoured. It was not exactly meant to engage in the head, almost more like to sit at them from a good distance and shoot at them before getting out of there again. There's a little fun fact about it.
Enemy forces have claimed our territory.
Patrick the lane got him the Hellcat. We got Jaeger's on the flank here as well. Third one aiming forwards, getting the G43 upgrade. Well, scoped G43 upgrade basically. Reconnaissance package. Which also gives them access to flares. Maybe that's what it also why I went for them. Large squad there. Could get wiped out if Stephenn isn't careful. Yeah, that's a good chance wiping this now. Stephenn gets incredibly lucky.
Grenadier squad has been destroyed.
Grenadier squad wiped. That was one of the upgraded one. There you go. Route squad wiped. I mean, that's a pretty good trade-off there for... So in particular thing that was like a veterancy free Bravo squad. And there's even a BAR left behind there for the German infantry to pick up. Except I guess he doesn't want it. But you want me to fight with this American crap? What's next? Cheeseburgers for rations? Actually, that wouldn't be half bad. Last one pushed up by the Panther 4. No pillman machine on that Panther 4. I think that would benefit Salmon there quite a bit. Greyhound rushing towards the center here. Raven also advancing, got 260 to 87. At this point, it does appear like he's going to go straight for the TIE tank. He's close there in terms of fuel. Manpower-wise, not too far off either. Not too far off either. So, quickly occupying the center here. Stephenn's also bringing a mortar for some light artillery support here, plus anti-tank guns. I'm guessing at this point he's really starting to get concerned about the Tiger tank, but also any other potential other avenues his opponent might pursue. We got some air recons again. Perhaps looking for some nice juicy targets. And no one's bothered with that BAR. Jamming 40, veterans 1 there. Go, Panther strike from the other side. Jaeger's advancing up. We got the Grey on there blasting away. Carl there drops dead as a Panther 4 high explosive shell there, utterly obliterates him. Jaeger's going for that Sherman. In the south, and he's right here by Stephenn's plucky and stout rifleman. Assault continues here for the center, and the south Panther 4 swings around over there, going to tank on the other side here of the building. Halts the Panther 4's advance at least that way, unless he can get rid of that anti-tank and fast. Meanwhile, Sherman's Greyhounds ripping through the Jaegers. Mortar fire rain down there as well. There we go. Panther, they're getting good on the Sherman. Quite the intense stuff here. Grenade assault on the building there, ripping through the walls. And the interior decoration. Sherman wrecked here by the Panther. Great kill there for Salmon. But a Jaeger squad gets killed in the process. And what is this? It's Stephenn with the M31 recovery vehicle to recover that Sherman. He truly believes in recycling. And there you go, 29 minutes into the game here. Tiger tank is now available here for Salmon and the German army. He just needs to press the button that summons the Tiger tank. The button. There you go. Tiger tank some 4th here to summon. I support the 21st Panzer Division.
We shall reinforce all squads that require it.
Hand to 4, there's the Rival squad. Fun fact about early Tiger tank heavy battalions when they were first introduced, They were actually meant to work alongside a specific type of Panzer III, the Panzer III Model N, which were then meant to sort of work against infantry, while the Tiger tanks, then worked against the armor primarily. That said, they kind of dropped out on that one pretty rapidly. It's all a little fun though. They're trying to go for the Hellcat, which is definitely... Oh! And the engineers got ripped apart as well. They always be careful about repairing too close to the front line. In this case, snare down the Tiger tank, shocks the crew a bit here, but the rifleman also gets a hell of a shock as an 88 and a high explosive shell goes off in their midst. Hand for they've actually too. Definitely need some repairs as well here. At this point, though, Salmon needs more Pioneers. He's got one Pioneer squad for like a Tiger tank and a Panzer IV. That is just insufficient. That's just going to take too long here for Salmon to fix up. He also finally got around to upgrading that remaining Grenadier squad with more MP40s. That's something, at least, but arguably you should have those upgrades out soon. I think they've been quite impactful for the Stephenn. Tiger tank being fixed up.
Breakthrough tactics activated.
Breakthrough tactics activated. Thumbs up. Yeah, he needs more Pioneers. No two ways around that one. Building there is looking incredibly structurally unsound. Southwick on his flanking around the rifle squad there. Tiger tank shoots, and there we go. Got some air support going in against the Tiger tank. Maybe a bombing run. Maybe just reconnaissance to mess with his opponent. Hard to say here. Yeah, it looks like to just be the air reconnaissance aircraft here in the south. We got going into the rifle squad there.
The men are ready.
And the former's fixed up. Norfolk and his rifle squad there. Ooh, grenades there. As for Stephenn, we got the Sherman there slowly being fixed up here. Hellcat there being fixed up by some freshly arrived engineers. Hey, that's some really cool paint on that Hellcat. Where's that from? Don't ask.
We will end this. The enemy
Grand rushing in here. Tiger tank there. Veterans one already. Flank here with the Greyhound. And then they get a shot there through the side armor of the Tiger tank, which was only 80mm thick. It was the front line was 100mm thick. But even like the side armor of the Tiger tank was relatively thick there. North here, Panther Force spawning Grenadier squad here on the northern side here.
bastards have secured
Front line there for the 1st Armored Division, significantly weaker. There you go. Hellcat, Sherman, all good to go here. We got another Hellcat here for Stephenn, of course, will spawn to the Tiger tank. North here, Panther Force going for the rifle squad up here, blasting through those unfortunate GIs, menacingly murdering them. Still no machine gun there. Another Tiger or Panther Force. In the south, we do get a strafing run. Note he's actually upgraded his air support center, so he gets twice the value. In this case, because I mean, strafing runs will do twice. 2 strafes, bombing runs will do 2 bombs, and the air recons, instead of just providing a general idea where the units actually shows you what's going on there. So Stephenn definitely leveraging air support center more than most other players. Thumbs up to that.
He's fucking dead.
We're finding about the northern victory point that German forces are holding on, but we can see their Stephenn's rolling in a lot of armor here. Pioneers finally grab that BAI here. Tiger tank squad in the center here.
The ability is ready for use.
And we're being pushed back, at least falling back in the face of the Hellcat, and of course more armor here from Stephenn. Got the M31 moving up to recover here the Greyhound. The M31 was just basically a recovery tank based off the M3 Lead. Was in fact not uncommon to just, use various tank chassis for that sort of purpose. Fun fact there. The Hellcat there rushing out for Stephenn. Smoke deployed. They're very good with Tiger tank, still gets a shot off. They're killing Bob. Up north, they're going to on the line, but against the Sherman there, it's going to be tough. Hit grenades off. Hit grenades close to being wiped out. So the rifleman in the center of the Tiger tank here, supporting a push forward to Jaegers there in the danger zone. Wow, that was lucky there for Stephenn. His man. Oh, he went down. He didn't survive. I spoke too soon. Oh, the folly. And now we got the Jaegers here flanking the Hellcats. By the way, virtually 3 Jaegers, so they're extra tough here. You're straight into the Greyhounds, the Shermans. Good shot there. Tiger tank will try and flank in, but he's clearly concerned about something. Maybe it's entering in the flank here. Jaegers keep the advance, but they're being focused on with the Sherman and the Greyhound, and I think he's got high explosive shells up north here. Panther 4 pursuit with the 2 Hellcats. Definitely made a mistake here, splitting up his Panther 4 too far from the rest of his forces within sufficient support here, and Stephenn saw right through his mistake and punished him for it. 2 thumbs to Stephenn, 2 thumbs up. That was a solid play there. Another unit wiped out though. Titan is almost knocked out the Hellcat there, but it's also been heavily damaged by the 2 Hellcats there. They just keep punching through the Hellcat, Tiger Tank's armor here with the 7.6mm guns. Tiger Tank actually bounced a shot there. Quite lucky there for them. Jaegers swing up there with the G43s, but lacking Panzerschrecks are very much, well, harmless. Hellcat there in, or Tiger Tank, I mean, repairs. He's only got 1 Pioneer squad. Once more, he bring in more be good. We got another BAR left behind in the sand, by the way.
Back to full strength.
So what will happen next? We got 184 versus 134. Stephenn there definitely punished his opponent's mistake. They're tactically just splitting up his tanks.
Grab this weapon. Fighting. I'm in.
And he's bringing a pad out in the open. Tiger Tank there. All the way back at base. He still needs more Pioneers. So also Maggie just wants more support here. Like another Panther 4. Honestly, half badly might also be going for support elements to go for some Martyrs to back up the Tiger Tank. Have the Tiger Tank soak up the damage. And then the Martyrs blast the tanks and tank destroyers. That could be a strategy there to consider for Salmon as well. Don't think he will do it. But he could do it. Tiger Tank being fixed up. Very close to 82. Still putting my machine gun out.
You have orders?
Yeah, recons again here. So here we got the G43 upgraded Jaegers here. The scoped Jaegers here going for the engineers in the south here. Used to bring it apart here. Good chance of the engineers being wiped out because Stephenn is clearly not paying attention. Yep, yeah, we do have a EC8 out here for Stephenn as well, riding in there for freedom. Yeehaw! Last got quick to back up here. Odds here for Salmon are getting distinctly worse now. Stephenn's armored forces keep screwing where Salmon's just really aren't going anywhere. Strafing on inbound. Need to quickly get out of the way here. But let's split up his infantry and the easy target with all the various tanks and such. Easy hitting forwards here, ripping through the grenadiers there. Heavy losses here for Salmon. That's another wipe. We do get a Panther 4 here, but he's up against so much here. The question is really if a single Panther 4 back up his Tiger Tank will be sufficient for Salmon to have any hope of victory against Stephenn now. Good shot there from the Hellcat. Tiger Tank returns the favor. Virtually 2 there achieved. Got the E-Shape rolling forwards here. Good hit on the Sherman. Side armor hit there. Tiger Tank that just keeps slamming away there on the Americans. Tanks being just heavily damaged by the 80mm armor piercing shells there. North here, Panther 4 looks like it's going to go for flanking, going for the Greyhound here. But at the same time, there's Sarista. It seems it's going to dispatch all his Hellcats to wreck that. Again, as it's going to be isolated on its own. Again, Greyhound Ball is surviving several hits here. It does get more health eventually. Got the Greyhound here, but the Hellcat's going to go for it here. He's blasting it as fast as possible here. And now we sort of see that thing happening again, which is there's a good risk here of Salmon losing his Panther 4 isolated due to the Hellcats. We've got straight air recons going in. Tiger Tank's looking forwards here, but it's not going to help the Panther 4. Oh, it gave its positions, and Stephenn slaps it down, wrecking the Panther 4 anti-tank, and they're wrecked by the Tiger Tank and the advancing infantry. Last dash here by the 21st Panzer Division here. Stephenn in the 1st Armoured Force to give away here in the centre. Up north here, though, racing in. Unity to grab the points there. Hellcat, heavily damaged. Tiger Tank getting a move on. We got 11 versus 133 here. Hellcat, almost knocked out. 10 points left. 9 points left. Salmon is holding on for dear life here against Stephenn. Can he turn this around? Can he win this now? It's looking pretty rough here. He needs to put... Oh, he doesn't have the missions for the breakthrough. Doesn't have enough munitions, and he forgot to capture this when he could have. Pioneers getting slammed here. There's another BR course left behind there still. Gunners with the Bounty Grab Squad. Got the northern point here. We got 6 versus 133 here. Titan about to get flanked here with the Sherman. There we go. Hellcat moving in there. Near ace level on that Hellcat. And a damage into the Tiger Tank. If that Tiger Tank goes down, so does Salmon in this fight. And with that, it is GG. Salmon now has no real chance to think here versus Stephenn. His odds are pretty much buried in the sand. Like the pyramids. Betsy 2, M31 there, by the way. And there you go, GG, game over. A stinging blow here to Salmon. A glorious victory for Stephenn here. A great fight here with a lot of back and forth action. I do think part of the issue was just he was too slow in upgrading all of his gunnies or getting them, you know, promoted out or transferred out for Jaegers. I think he'd done all those things. Salmon will be in a better position. Also, just good fuel rationing for Stephenn. It really, I think, put some dents there into Salmon's strategy. Similarly, making it much harder to, like, say, push for those Pantherballs faster, which definitely also had an impact here on Salmon. So there's definitely some various elements there I think that really just gave Stephenn there the edge as the match went on there. So, hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't your enemies. Otherwise, you can also support the Propagandacast by donating on by PayPal or Patreon on Patreon. Links in the description. Every bit helps me out to keep making these videos. As you know, comment, like, share, subscribe. And for now, I shall be off, so see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.